What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here, and today I'm going to be showing you all of the creator class options in Advanced Warfare's multiplayer. The build I was playing, obviously this isn't the final build of the game, there's a lot more stuff to come. This is just kind of like a taster of what to expect. There's quite a lot of stuff here, so I'm going to show it to all you guys. Got weapons, attachments, perks, abilities, wildcards, exo abilities, exo launchers, all of that stuff. The only thing I won't be showing is the kill streak, simply because there's so many and there's so many customization options. I'm going to do that in a separate video all to itself, because literally I could spend like 5 to 10 minutes talking about all the abilities and their customization options for those kill streaks. There's a lot of detail in those, so look out for a video very soon, or specifically on all of the kill streaks. There's a lot to talk about in that video, but in this video I'm going to be covering most of the creator class options, attachments, all that good stuff. So first off, the assault rifles. Battle 27, I didn't use this weapon too much, and but it is pretty interesting because it does increase this fire rate over time, which is very interesting. And we have a lot of kind of weapons that have these similar abilities, which are very different to each other. They're not just standard weapons, everyone has its own little tweak to it, which makes it kind of unique in its own way. And then we have the HBRA3. This is the weapon I absolutely love. I use this a lot in my video, and simply because it's very accurate, and as it says, the best in class at handling. So it's a very good weapon to handle, very quick reload, very good accuracy. It's a pretty slow fire rate, which means it's got good accuracy but not the highest obviously damage output. But I do like this weapon a lot, and it's also got the first 3 rounds of it shoot a little bit faster, so burst firing is very effective if you want a high fire rate, which is cool because this weapon doesn't have a natural high fire rate by itself. Then the IMR, this is a printing rifle, so it's going to print its own ammo over time, and this got standard damage. I do not like this with suppressor on. It's absolutely just like a paintball gun pretty much if you put suppressor on this. It's so weak. Red dot sight though is very good, and obviously the burst fire weapon, so if you like burst fire weapons, this is a pretty good weapon for you. Then submachine guns, we have the KF5. This one, the first 5 rounds have increased damage, which is very interesting. The ASM1, we have this is the standard submachine gun. I use this a little bit, and we've seen this in a few trailers here and there, and the fire rate does increase, and also the accuracy over time, which is very interesting with this weapon. So that's definitely a very interesting one. And then we have the SN6, and this is the weapon we saw in the teaser trailer. It's kind of like a small foldable weapon, and it's fully automatic, obviously. 3-round burst to shoot a little bit faster, and it's apparently the best in class at accuracy. So those are submachine guns. Then onto the sniper, we have the Moors. This is the only one available, and I've got gameplay that I'll be going up on my channel very soon with this. Got a few cool shots with this, and it's a very cool sniper to use. And I'll also go through the attachments in just a second also. So we've got shotgun. This is a directed energy weapon. Obviously there's a new kind of category of weapon. It's not an actual class of weapons, but there's a new type of weapon in each category, and this is the directed energy weapon. So this is basically, it shoots like almost like a thunder gun from Black Ops Zombies. It's really crazy. It just shoots out a pulse of energy and just blows people away. It's a very powerful shotgun. And then onto the heavy weapons, which is the new category in Advanced Warfare. You've got the EM1, which is a laser weapon, and then down there we've got the XMG, which is kind of like these huge miniguns. You actually dual wield them, which is crazy, and I'll be honest, they are absolutely awful. They are very hard to use, and if you want to use them effectively, you have to stand still, so you have to lock yourself in place, so you can't move at all, and then it has a little bit better accuracy, but even then they are very difficult to use. They're kind of like a novelty weapon, not very effective for kind of like trying to go on high kill streaks or anything like that. Then to the attachments, I'll show you the ones for the kind of assault rifles right here. Got the ACOG, red dot sights, most of the usual stuff. Dual magazine is back, which is pretty cool. Foregrip, grenade launcher, laser sight. We've got the lightweight grip, which is one of my favorites. This is essentially the quick draw perk, allows you to aim down sight quicker, and also the lightweight stock, which is the stalker perk, which lets you move faster when you're aiming down sight. Those are definitely 2 of my favorite attachments. The parabolic microphone, this is a very interesting one, brand new to Advanced Warfare. This device actually allows you to see other people using suppressor on your radar. So that's right, if you're using a suppressor, you're no longer safe. People with the parabolic microphone will be able to see you on the radio. I personally think is good. And then moving on, we've got the standard red dot sight. This is literally the basic red dot sight, which everyone's going to be using. Very cool sights, and I do like the look of it. Got suppressor as always, target enhancer, which is like an increased zoom, the thermal sight as always, tracker sight, which is also new. This is essentially the rounds that you shoot out into people. If you get hit marked on someone, they're going to show up on the radar, so it's essentially like tracking people. Once you hit people with the bullets, they're going to show up on radar, and it's kind of like the recon perk from Modern Warfare 3, and that's a cool attachment right there. And then we've got the variable red dot sight. Onto the sniper attachments, got some interesting stuff here. We've got the ACOG, ballistic CPU, which reduces the sway, iron sights, which is really cool, good to see that back, lightweight stock, which lets you move faster when you're aiming down sight, parabolic microphone, again I talked about, thermal, tracker, and variable zoom. Interesting thing right here is there is no quick draw perk, there's no kind of lightweight grip. If you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen me tweeting about quick scoping, and I'm not sure whether it will be possible in this game because it does take quite a while to aim down sight with these sniper rifles in this game. So seeing as there currently is an attachment to speed that up, not sure how possible quick scoping will be, but I'm sure people find a way if you really want a quick scope. But that is that, and there's some very interesting things to talk about in that category. And then we're going to move on to the secondaries. We've got right here the Atlas 45 pistol, very standard basic pistol. The RW1, this is a really cool magnum. It's a one-shot kill from most ranges. Got a hit marker very, very rarely, but it does actually happen. But most of the time, it'll be a one-hit kill. But this has a huge penalty. If you miss, you have to do a full reload this thing. So it's definitely not overpowered. Even though it is a one-shot kill, it is definitely not overpowered because you have to be very, very accurate with it. Now with the launchers, we've got the Stinger right here, which is actually with a slight twist to it. It can now lock onto vehicles and players. So you can actually lock onto players with this Stinger. And I've also got here the Firehawk, which is the elite version of it. Obviously with supply drops, you can unlock kind of like special variations of the weapons. So this is a very cool version of the Stinger. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is. It doesn't seem to show it, but this is the elite version of the Stinger M7, which is pretty cool. Then we're going to move into the perks. We've got lightweight, low profile, which is basically ghost, that stops you being shown up on UAVs, danger close, overcharge, which lets you be on the use your exosuit as a little bit longer, and flak jacket, which is essentially more resistance against explosives. Also no slowdown against explosive damage, which is cool. Then we've got peripherals, which is a very new perk. This allows you to have a bigger radar in the top left hand corner of your map, so that's going to be a little bit bigger so you can see more of the map, more of people showing up on the radar, which is very interesting. Blind eye, which is essentially invisible to all streets. Cold-blooded, invisible to all equipment, thermal, stuff like that. Fast hand, which is very interesting. This lets you reload while sprinting, which is basically on the go from Ghost, and also swap weapons, exosuit and abilities, all that stuff faster, which is very cool. Then we've got Gung Ho, which is very interesting. This actually lets you fire while sprinting and sliding. So if you use the wild card for perk 2 greed and double up on fast hands and Gun Ho, you'll actually be allowed to shoot and reload while sprinting, which is absolutely insane for Call of Duty. This is definitely brand new grounds right here. You've never been able to shoot and reload at the same time while sprinting, so that's definitely going to make some fast paced gameplay. And then into the third category, we've got toughness, one of my personal favorite perks, and scavenger as always. Blast suppressor, if you don't know, when you use a kind of exo ability, you show up on the radar. So this is a suppressor for your blast exosuit, so you won't be showing up on radar if you do that. Hardwired, which is actually back from Black Ops 2, but very, very improved, which is good to see. It's definitely one of the worst perks in Black Ops 2. And but here we have a Musa system hack, EMP, nano swarms, stun grenades, and scramblers. So that is a very, very cool perk now. It's much upgraded, and there's also mention of a lot of things that we don't actually have in this build of the game. System hack, EMP, and nano swarms. We don't have any of that in this game. They possibly might all be kill streaks, which is very interesting. No nano swarm and EMP is very likely to be kill streaks, but not sure what system hack might be. And it's obviously involving something to do with hacking people's exosuits, but that sounds very cool. And also scrambler, so possibly some streaks that we'll be seeing in the final build of the game, which is pretty cool. And then we've got hardline, which decreased the score streak by 100 points, which isn't as powerful as it used to be. In Ghost specifically, 2 assists would count as a kill, and in Black Ops 2 it actually gave you a percentage off your score streak points. That means some of the final streaks you'd actually be getting like 6 kills off the swarm, and the lower streaks you'd be getting less. It was actually percentage, so it kind of varied which streak you're using. It would take more or less kills off, but this is just a solid 100 points, which is very interesting. Then onto the exo abilities, you've got the shield, which is basically a riot shield, overclock, which lets you have faster foot speed, exo stim, which lets you regenerate health faster for a very short amount of time, cloak, which is invisibility cloak, which isn't actually too effective. I wouldn't be too worried about this being overpowered and annoying people being invisible. It's not that invisible. You can see people pretty easily, to be honest. Hover, which lets you hover in place for a few moments, trophy system, which blocks enemy projectiles, and ping, which lets you see other people's positions. Then we've got the exo launcher. These are obviously things you can shoot out of your exo suit. We've got the frag, semtex as usual. We've got the explosive drone, which unfortunately seems to be some sort of proximity mine. I'm not sure whether you shoot this and it hovers in air, or whether you stick it into walls, possibly both, but this is basically a proximity mine. If you walk near it, it's going to blow you up, which is unfortunate. I'm not really too much of a fan of these kind of things in Call of Duty games. And then we have the tracking drone, which tracks and highlights enemy players, semtex as usual, and spike drone, which seems to be some sort of throwing knife tomahawk variant. You throw it at people, you can actually retrieve it, which is pretty interesting. Variable grenade, we saw this in a lot of the pre-builds of the game, where you can cycle through stun, EMP, smoke grenades, threat detectors, all of that kind of stuff. Then we've got smoke grenades, EMP grenades, which is good to see back, and threat detectors, which we've seen again a lot of the trailers and early builds of the game. It shows up all the enemies in these red kind of like flares, which is very, very cool. And then finally we've got the wildcards. A lot of the very similar wildcards seen in Black Ops 2, Overkill, which are 2 primaries, primary gunfighter, which is 3 attachments on your primary, secondary gunfighter, which is 2 attachments on your secondary, and then we've got perk 1 greed, 2 greed, 3 greed, and then we've got streak up, which is brand new, take a 4th score streak, which is crazy, bombardier, which lets you take an exo launcher instead of your exo ability, so 2 exo launchers, and then tactician, which is the opposite of that. So that is just about all we've got in the create class options. A lot to talk about there. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you did and found it informational, give the video a like rating, and make sure to check out my channel. I've got lots of videos for Advanced Warfare up right now, videos I've uploaded, a video I'm still uploading, going to be uploading some sniping gameplay and lots more analysis very, very soon, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.